Hello, my name is Sierra Perry, and today I will be informing you on extracurricular activities. I've grown up with sports and extracurricular activities as a big part of my life. I've seen teammates and classmates develop many valuable skills from these activities, and I've also seen them break down. Some people might not know how extensive extracurricular activities can be. There are many things that go into putting them together and the effort that goes into making them successful. Extracurricular activities have a large impact on the well-being and success of students all around the world. This is the main reason why people support these activities. School boards face budget cuts frequently and choose to restrict their funding for activities. It is a very hard decision and taken very seriously in these schools, but sometimes it is necessary. Also, there can be negative effects from these activities that cause people to not support them. Extracurricular activities have been beneficial and harmful aspects to them. It is important to know how to be involved but find a right balance for students to continue to be successful. There's evidence that shows both sides for extracurricular activities. Each give a different look on what these activities can do to or for a student. All the components of extracurricular activities should be known to understand the effects these activities can have on students. In the article Two Notions of Shame by Burkowski, it gives a definition of extracurricular activities. Extracurricular activities are events that a student participates that are outside the normal education curriculum. Examples of these activities include sports, band, fraternities, sororities, clubs, student government, and choir. In the article Extracurricular Activities, the author Daushin explains what makes these activities considered extracurricular. He states that the normal education curriculum in the United States focuses on mathematics, science, literature, and history. He also explains that extracurricular activities often give meeting times and commitments that are outside the regular school day. This gives students opportunities to be introduced to other activities that they might not in school. Now that the basics of extracurricular activities are understood, the pros and cons of these activities can be looked at. Some people believe that extracurriculars are an unnecessary expense, and there is evidence to show how they can have a negative effect on students. For in the article by Frank Deford, the reality of cutting funds for extracurricular activities is outlined. Deford says that sometimes now public schools sports survive only by the grace of private donations from parents and fans. Deford is showing just how bad the issue of funding is. Sometimes extracurricular activities are just not a possibility at certain schools. These activities, like show choir and sports, take up a lot of students' time. There are practices multiple times a week, events that they must participate in on weekends. As a student gets older and goes into high school and then college, these practices become mandatory. In the article First Year College Students' Time Use, the author Thurin Dox explains how the student must plan homework, appointments, their social life, and classes all around the events that extracurricular activities have. This makes it very hard sometimes to balance everything for the students. Also, the students must know how to prioritize what is most important in their life. Many of us have heard about students getting burned out. In a study called The Relative Importance of Social Relationships, Health-Related Activities, and Income, it talks about the pressure students feel when they are involved in so many activities like sports. This pressure can escalate quickly and cause a negative effect. A student might go through a breakdown. This can cause many other things in their life to become bad also. Extracurricular activities do have a large impact on students. There are studies that link successful adults to participation in extracurricular activities in their childhood. It is important to be active and healthy starting at a young age. Extracurricular activities help students to be both. In Gatterman's studies, it says the roots of many chronic mental and physical health issues are already well underway by the time a student reaches high school. Health issues start when students are young. It is important for them to be active growing up. Being active will decrease the amount of health issues a student must have as an adult. Extracurricular activities help students do just that. Being a part of a club or a team is a great feeling. It can help students to be emotionally stable and more social. A study called The Relative Importance of Social Relationships, Health-Related Activities, and Income was done to show the importance of involvement in your life. In the study, it was concluded that positive daily experience interacting with friends significantly predicts student life satisfaction. The views on extracurricular activities can be very diverse. Many students are involved in these activities and love being in them. Sports are one of the main impacting events in our society. The background of what exactly the activities are is good in knowing their effects. They're expensive and stress-filled, but also have good long-term and short-term outcomes. There will always be people who push and encourage these activities and people who are hesitant because of the possible negative effects. These are my note cards. And this is my